my screen. Okay, you guys can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm looking at Euro Swiss franc. Uh, my focus is actually more on the buy.
Mm.
Just remove this. So it has like a clear uptrend from 4 hours, 1 hours. So this buy, and then we have this refresh coming into the zone.
Yeah.
Nice little buy from that. So everything looks good. We have volume, nice high volume to the upside, low volume on the pullback, and then on the bottom side. So all that looks good. But my question is, if I go to just to 4 hours, it kind of feels like it's overextended, and I'm getting into these areas and these areas. So um, now I have this thing here, but it doesn't really have volume on the downside. So is it kind of still safe to attempt buys even though
Yeah.
it's getting into
Yeah.
those areas and it
Yeah.
feels like so
So
overextended and the last refresh is kind of only down here somewhere?
yeah. So the thing is, if you stay on the 4 hour real quick,
Yeah.
so overall flow down, right? And then whatever this down is, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, until it sort of does a change in direction here, and then it becomes an uptrend,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So that's because if you just even observe how your MAs are responding constantly, hold, 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 refresh,
Yeah.
hold, refresh, hold, refresh fail for the first
Yeah.
time. If it fails, okay, let's see how high it's going to go. Buyer, buyer, and here we are again. So it's like, oh, we even got above the 200 now.
Yeah.
It just keeps going up. Now, for us to say it's overextended, yeah, it is multiple legs up. Is this at some kind of level though? Then we can start questioning that, because we do see a downward angle, but we need to understand if there is a resistance above us, then we need to be scared of overextendedness. Is there a level above us somewhere?
I can check daily quickly. Let's just have
Yeah,
like,
yeah, that's a level.
yeah, that's a level.
Okay, so now if daily is like a trading time frame and that's a level, we've come up in what looks like two legs up there, which means there's probably going to be a third leg as well. But what we want to do is, if we believe in the cells and look how it's, hugging the MA still, it's not like gone out of balance. It's still in with balance. So you can get a sell done off of this down to here somewhere, right? But to do that, we need to then see the approach of it. It's like, okay, well, we understand the refresh of the thing, right? It's like two legs up.
Yeah.
Leg two is super strong. So then we're assuming leg three is going to come in, putting that in perspective of like, don't go beyond 50% in case a three comes. But we want to be the first ones to sell off the area if we can.
Yeah.
Right? And daily is not a time frame we trade. It's like really, really high. We're intraday traders, right? We're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're in, we're out, we're done. Okay. So now let's go down to the 4 hour and let's watch the approach to that area. Now, based based on how it was coming down, and now we're on our way up. Is it hot?
Yeah.
What's
It
your opinion?
still look okay. It's starting kind of, this was bigger and then this one's slightly smaller and it started to slow down on the end, but it still looks healthy. I'll put it like
Okay.
that.
So there's a couple of things then. One, if it's hot, it won't subdivide. Okay. The fact that it's subdividing already is one sign of, well, it's not flying up to that level that we put the line. It got
Yeah.
up there in multi legs,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Now, in those multi legs, do we have a slowdown? That one was strong. And
Yeah.
then this one comes up, which is lesser in power, and we can see the little subdivision within it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we reached at the level. And that level says, I shall respond. Remember, we're one time frame down. We don't want to stay at the daily, because if the daily responds, you're like, ah, crap, I missed that spot now, right? And then if we try to do a sell off of here, then we got that nasty price,
Yeah.
right? So we don't want to be there. That's like trading in the middle of this whole thing. We want to be close to the level as much as we can. So now from this area, they've started to respond already. But because he's strong, we can say, I want to see if what he does and whatever buy we can get off of here, so I can sell again with the sellers. So, in terms of if you were thinking for the buy, that's going to become a conflict, because that's how they would think, because there's a level that they're going to sell from.
Yeah.
So, in terms to answer your overextendedness, it's multi legs up into a level, they're going to prepare sells. Right? And if
Yeah.
it's us doing the buy, you can do the buy, but you have to be aware that they responded first. So any buy you bring up, if it shows any struggle, they'll hit the sell again. So your buy might be a struggling buy on the way up, might be.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. It's like, um, if you say, Naveen, I'm buying it from a 60, okay, you're going with the uptrend, you look okay. But if you bring in the daily story to me, then I'd be like, why are you buying? You should be selling, because
Yeah.
it's early sells.
Yeah. It on the 60, it looks like it's good for a buy, but then there are just those little signs. Even though the volume doesn't agree with sells, there's
Mm.
still those signs that tells me there's something up. That's
Yeah.
why I just wanted to make sure that it looked overextended and I could see a strong sell kicking in here and just those little things.
Yeah. Look at the volume.
Mm,
Every buy that shows up, what happens to the volume?
yeah, it increases.
It increases. It increases.
Yeah,
This is active buyers behind it.
yeah. So I
So
remember
whatever pull up.
a
Yeah.
while ago you said if it kind of like does that 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 it slowly gets rid of all the sellers and then you have active buyers with volume in there, just slowly gets rid of every kind of like seller. I remember you
Yeah,
said
because
something about
all
that.
this levels on the left is being attacked.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? To get up here, he has to make levels. But the same thing happens is, for you to sell now, you have so many barriers along the way that you
Yeah.
have to get
Yeah.
through,
Yeah.
which is all target points, right? It's like, we would love to target here as we would normally do, recent low, but there's so many landmines.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, this answers a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. Unless it's traded off of a daily, and the daily is like, I don't see any landmines, but then the daily needs a daily stop loss.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, so then it's like that's a different game altogether. That's a different game, different time frame, and for them, 2 3 days is normal. That's 2 3 candles,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So that's the thing. You have to make your pick on where you want to operate. If you want to operate here, then a move like that. Sorry, a move like that for a sell to there, excellent. A move like that for a buy till there, excellent. Just like how you did in New Zealand CAD. Like,
Yeah.
you were in a spot where I'm not sure if the buyers are going to take over or the sellers are going to take over, but I'm going to sell from a good spot and I don't give a shit about the rest. like, like that was nicely done.
Yeah.
So
Get a
you
great
got away
price.
with no scratches. I don't know if the language is exactly like that, but
No, I like it. I like it.
It's
Is
most
that
very.
but
Lots
yeah,
of.
okay? Cool. Okay, awesome.
yeah. So overextended, I'd say so, because now we saw the daily. If you can get the daily sells out of it, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna
If
mark
it
this
rejects,
versus rank as something.
yeah. Can we see the MAs on the 60 on the daily? We're still on a downward flow on the daily, yeah.
Yeah, we're at this. What's that MA? 50 MA.
Yeah. And
Sorry,
this is
short.
like the second time around as a test, right? Here's the first test here, and then second time around. I'm talking about swing back.
Yeah, yeah,
So second time around, and first time around, good response. Second time around, there in a context of a downtrend, they should
yeah.
push. They should push. So we've missed the first one. Now it's just a matter of, okay, if you can get a bad close, that's going to be your second one.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, that's all I needed to ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
That's
Cool.
cool.
Hello. Hello, Reza.
Oh,
I was like, I saw this
hello, hello.
RE121 connecting us. So thought, what kind of robot is connecting? It's
Change,
like, I
change
said,
my
huh?
name to the AI.
Nice. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. So what else was there? Shall we really quickly look at that New Zealand USD? I think a lot of you guys were on that
oh
one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's take a look at that one. I'll explain that one to you guys as well. Now, higher time frame. We look at this from, let's say, the 4 hours, and we see there is a final resolution down. It has gone through. And if it has gone through, obviously we don't want to sell here, right? Like that's ridiculous. Get us back to a level that we assume might hold. So our job is to find levels that have some kind of power behind it. Like that's a level, right? There's a power to that that's been shown, but I can't do something like this. That's a level. You see what I mean? I'm just making shit up now. Like I don't want to do that. You want to look for something good, right? So when you find a level that has some credibility behind it, then as you're going down and you're saying, okay, price is coming up to it. I'd like to do something as it gets there because it looks like whatever this is, I think leg two is pretty strong. Why leg two? It just refreshed. So I know it's quite healthy. I know I'm selling late. My best sell is here. Second best sell is here. And my worst sell is here. But it looks healthy. Therefore, I want to see if I can get a good hold to sell off of. Okay, so let's see the approach to it. Here we are on the 60. Okay, let me remove this. If you see the 60, now you have a move up that goes up and you have a level. Let's say we draw the level like this. Okay, like if you want to make it like exact like that. There and then whatever that is, right? You make the level like that and you're like in your mind, there's a level thereabouts. And you're saying, I want to see how it gets there. If it gets their full green bar, then we have to see if that full green bar is on the 60, but then the 15, the time frame close to it is going up in legs, you can do something. But if you're on the 60 full green, 15 full green, and then the 5 minute has 3 legs, don't do it. That's a universe apart. That's very, very far away. That means it needs more time to process. Okay, so don't make the illusion of going down too low and then saying, oh, that one looks ready. Okay, so once we get to the level, we can clearly see, look at that. We see that action going on. Now, if you can see it here, great. If you need the 15 to see that in terms of red, green, that's also fine. Here, let me show you here. Okay, reaching up to that level in 2 legs. What can you tell me about the second leg?
It's very
Weak.
jagged.
Subdivided.
Subdivided.
It's choppy. What else?
Wicks and tails.
Yeah.
Wicks and tails. What else?
And then,
There's volume right at the top.
yeah, there's volume at the top.
Volume, but that volume that's right at the top only shows up after the red bars come.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? We're approaching the level and we don't, like, our job is to get in around that. If he starts doing this, we're like, we're late. Right? Because if that's the level, the best price, no matter what happens, is going to be here always, right?
Mm.
So if we understand that logic, then our job is perfect the approach and the rest falls into place. Right? So if the approach is there and we're like, there's a line here somewhere, here or here, it's thereabouts and it's a good line. Let me see how it gets there. And if it gets there in 2 legs, you guys told me all the things that you want to see on the second leg. Oh, what is the thing that's also sticking out that's a danger of the second leg?
It's the length.
What about it?
It's bigger than the first one.
There you go. It's bigger than the first one. There is one warning sign. Okay, we all saw what we wanted to see, but there is still a sign that says, why is this so hot? Okay, if he's coming up with that pressure, then the whole mindset is, I want to see what they do at that level. If I want to be able to be as right as possible and saying whatever I do after the right side of that, it'll work. So when this attempt goes up, how's that candle close? After he hits that area, how's the candle close?
Strong.
Strong, bullish. So
Yeah.
you're like, there's a level here. I see a lot of wicks and tails, but it's still strong. Next candle. How's the candle close?
Bearish.
It's good.
Bearish. So now you have 1 leg up, 2 legs up, 3 legs up. Can you tell me the size of leg 3?
That's very small.
Okay, very small. Let's talk about that leg 3 really quick here. I'm going to show you that leg 3. How do you know that leg 3 is small? Only when this candle is about to close, you will know a leg 3 is small. Because if it was green, how do you know leg 3 has ended? We don't know. So the only thing that puts your mind at ease is 5 minutes to candle close. I don't know. It's 3 minutes to candle close. I trust it a little bit more. 2 minutes to candle. It's going to close red. Okay, that's my leg 3. Leg 3 is tiny. The level is holding. We got there in a weak format. It's holding. Okay. Can this happen at leg 2?
Yes, it can.
Yeah, it doesn't always have to be a 3. It can be a 4 also. The whole point is slow down, slow down. Okay.
I'm just trying to see that as a leg 3 and not just a continuation of leg 2.
Yeah, it's this, right? Because it comes down to SNR and it responds back and makes it.
Okay, yeah. This SNR.
Question before you go to 5.
Sure.
On a 15, I might consider this one as a leg 3.
You can, and that's fine too. But I'm telling you where the first area of entry actually is and what your safe stop loss is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that can be another thing for processing phase. But if you can get this initial entry, then you have the 1 and the 2 in the sky, basically.
Mm.
Okay, the optimal entry, because anything after that is we can entertain. It's no problem. Okay, so going back to sorry, I can stay here, right? You guys got the leg 3 on this motion so far? Okay.
Yeah.
If I didn't wait for that leg 3 candle to close approximately, I might have mistaken this for a leg 3. You have to be very careful to time it well before you switch time frames. Okay, we can't jump too fast. It needs to be systematic. Okay, only when this thing starts to come down, we're like, candle close on the 15 is right here. We're like, there's my leg 3. After you have that big rejection there, you have your final buyer from his little SNR or 50%. And what's the size of that candle?
Sorry.
Momentum is fully dried up at your location. That's when you start to say, this is my line. Because the line was a theory in the beginning. But by seeing the result, you're like, my line is here. This is why it's responding. and then you have conviction. You hit the cells as it breaks here, but the stop cannot be there. Because what you're trying to do, if I take you back to this, what you're trying to do is you're saying, bring it up, I'll hit the cells, bring it back down. Put your stop losses there. If you want to have it like really top prices and perfection, then don't let the next little thing whip you out. Does that make sense? Because the part, Reza, you were talking about, that leg 3, that can happen. And this leg 3 that you guys are discussing doesn't have to be a lower high. It can do this. And that could be a stop loss. But by knowing that you're basically selling and you can put your stop losses here, you're like, no, do what you want. I've done everything on my part to be on the right side of this line. The stop loss is now the safest formality. It has to really push through to take me out. And if it takes me out, I'm done. One hit, either we win or we lose. Instead of like really shrinking down the stop loss. Yeah. If we put stop losses here, the broker will get you on this. Okay. So these are the little elements of that. So same concept, Henning, you want to look at it from your Euro Swiss. Same concept you've already done in New Zealand CAD. You can revisit it again and look at it with this eye if you want to, but you've done the same thing from where I saw where you did the entry. You've done the same thing.
Yeah, and this Euro Swiss franc has very similar looks to this from like a sell perspective.
Yeah. So what is happening here is this same area where they bought, they tried to buy again. And then no performance, no performance, no performance. And then the home run tendencies begin. Any entries after that becomes a bit scary. Because then he needs that momentum. He cannot stop. Because if you enter here, what's going to happen? Look to your left and tell me where they launched up from.
Yeah, just there.
From that moment onwards, it started to become green, 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 green. That means there's a trap in there. So where you're selling is basically saying, I hope I can make it straight through it. So you want to always be away from that as far as you can. And the best way to be away from that is if it does this on the way up, sell it. Get away from this area. And then you can say, oh, nice, nice. You stumbled upon a winner. Or exit, take your win, start again.
Yeah, that would be me. Exit.
Yeah, exit.
That's how I trade.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You know? Okay. So, and once this buy gets hit, we have this, 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 this. What kind of market are we dealing with?
Range.
Range. So if you understand my comments to Yash saying, okay, you're doing the sell, it looks nice, location is good, at 90, if you get a candle, get out. Because structure visually, that looks like it's a range, they're gonna step in there. But because his entry was so bang on in these areas, it's like, yeah, you're gonna get a nice win off of that. So it was a very nice pick. It was very nicely done. So now tell me, this cell here, is it a 1? Is it a 2? What is it?
That kind of looks like
2. It's a
but
2.
you have to look at it on the 1 hours, right?
Well, where's your legs? Can you see legs on the 1 hour?
Actually,
Or
I
do you
can
see
see
legs
legs
here?
here. Yeah, so this is a 3, isn't it?
It's a 3. There you go. It's 3 attempts from that level trying to go.
Yeah.
That's what makes it more
Yes.
complicated. Now, as it's going up, even though he's very, very strong on the way up, look to your left. This is the part where they cascaded down from. That's a seller's area. See how it responds from how it unfolds. Now, if I'm watching that area in the context of a big downtrend, in the context of this line that we drew from the daily, then we say, do you see any legs in this on the way up? We don't see any legs in that. I don't know how I can sell this, but I do see this candle got smaller and is leaving a wick on top. So we can say, all right, I want to see just a very nearby time frame how the approach is. How many legs up?
Two.
2 legs up, like a refresh stuff, right? I'd like to get some work done up here, but now tell me about the approach.
This is a difficult one.
Like stronger.
Stronger, like
But
2 is
it
stronger.
did
There's no slowdown also.
Slows down at the end.
And no volume also.
Okay, that's good. What was the structure that we were in?
3
Range.
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 A 3 and a range. Okay, all of that you just got to keep in your mind because it's top-down analysis, right? And then we're like, okay, if he's getting up to this area, candle has slowed down, rejected, but I don't know if this guy's going to hit it again, right? So let's see what they do at their SNR areas. So we're like, well, that's not an SNR I want to be at because I want to get something done up here. I'm not going to respond to that. I'm going to respond to something closer. I want to see what they can do there. Does that make sense? So as that starts to roll over from here and they do an attempt and that one gets rejected, it's like, that's it. That's the top. You got 2.5. You didn't get a 3. Yeah. So that's where it starts getting a little bit like, I'm chasing it a bit, but I'm chasing it off my highs. And the bottom of the range is still far. Okay. There's risk to reward on this. I can get away with a win on this. Now, stop losses. There. Remember, what structure are you trading?
Range.
Range.
Should be outside the range.
At the very least, because you're in a big leg too. You never know if you're going to get spikiness as it goes down. You want to be able to survive that. So this whole discussion is if you want one hit high accuracy. I don't do one hit high accuracy. I do multiple hits low accuracy, but high risk to reward. It depends on your style. If you want one hit high accuracy, trust me, if you have the ability to control that, we make a ton of money. Like a ton of money, because then it's easy to measure your performance and be like, he has an 80% win rate. When he hits it, there's a high chance he makes it. Yeah. So if you can go that route, it's easier to finance you. If you go the multi-hits and then risk to reward, then we just need 3 months of data to be like, okay, yeah, this guy's good. Because then we need accumulation of total trades instead of, let me see one trade how you did it. I can't judge you on that if you're doing multiple hits to get it right. Right? So then we need a huge statement. It's not complicated, is it?
No.
So do I need to become a master at the rollover?
No, just approach to the level, right?
Approach to the level. The rollover is a byproduct of how the approach and the level responded. If you can merge those two things and you can take the bounce, I think you're a lot more powerful in Forex. When you bring in Forex and stocks together, yeah, you better become a master of both. Because a home run is very nice on stocks, but not so nice on Forex. Right? Forex, we say get off at the next stop, and if there's a level, chances are it won't break the level. Like we always try to remind ourselves that. Yeah. Now, if we go within this area, cascades down, 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 down. How did we get up there? Is that a level? Yeah, it's trapped. Trapped people in there. How many legs up there? 2. What can you tell me about leg 2?
Very
Very
small.
small.
Smaller. What did leg 2 do on the candle close?
Wick.
Wick on top, which means it got rejected. What is the candle after that? What's the size of that one?
Good.
It shrank, which
Yeah.
means on the way up, the level pushed back, and then the buyer, if there was any, at a 50% or 100%, the momentum shrank. Where'd it go? It's telling you that level, that's a candle, that level is responding. And then you can get some trading done off of a little test of that from a lower time frame. That's when you can go in and be like, all right, come on, let me get the nitty gritty off of this. And stops here, let's party. Because we're trying to take this as much as we can, or we got to get out there. If there's some fear of, you see this area there, the buyers kicked in from, we'll have to take first target there. Easy, right?
If you're practiced of it, then it's easy.
Yeah, it's the bounce trade. It's the bounce trade. It's just a notion of how far away from the bounce are you. That tells you if you're late or not. That's all. So if you understand the context, that range that it's breaking right now, if you sell it there, you see this guy who ran up, green, 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 green. You're now approaching his area. It's a little bit out of control right now because it's late. The pullback has already given you what it can and has done multiple legs down. And what we're doing is now pushing for the leg 3 or the leg 4, saying, come on, give me one more push out of this. Even though it's a downtrend that's proven himself, but we are late. So in a, I was going to say in a Rowan type of answer, when I summarize everything, it's like, so what you're trying to say, yeah, is down, level, hit it there as best as you can. That's it. Okay, the further it goes away from that level, even though it looks beautiful and there's a trap there and you're trying to sell off of there, don't forget you're getting close to buyer's area. And this seller might not be as strong as this buyer might be. Because even that seller might take some profit there, so it might respond aggressively. That's why we say if it reaches target, be careful on the next one. Complicated? Easy? Hard?
I think it's pretty, the concepts are pretty straightforward. Makes a lot of sense.
I think so. I think so. There's a lot of power in bounces. So to final sugarcoat it, if you have a level and it moves away from that level and you've done a trade but you got stopped out, but then that level worked, that's good. Not that you got stopped out, but it's good that You have the right idea, you have the right theory, you have the right strategy. You just have the bad execution and timing because you just need to perfect your approach and timing. That's okay. But if you're trying to do a sell and then it goes for a buy, that's not okay. That means you chose the location or the level wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The home run trades are very hard to do. Like you'll see me do this, right? Many, many times. That sell there because the buys just cannot lift, just cannot lift. And then when I see that and it breaks, I'm like, oh, perfect. Home run, sell. In stocks, this thing will be down here through my computer into the ground floor. But unfortunately, in this, sometimes if they do this, I get so scared. I'm like, shit, it's going to come back. I'm dead. But if I was in this or high prices like this, I don't need to worry about that. I don't have to force a trade off of that thing. There's no need to. Yeah. So is this one a trade?
No, it's too low down.
Hmm?
For me, it's too low down to this area to the left.
So this is a buyer's area. So they buy it,
Too close.
but now it's coming up to a resistance, which is seller's area. And we can see subdivision in the candles, which means if I was on a 15, excuse me, if I was on a 15, I'll see legs up to it. Are you selling at support or are you selling at resistance?
So even though I will be, if I sell up here, it's that gap between. But if you have to put your stops here and your targets there, is that really a good risk reward? So
Yes, it is.
that's what I.
You should be able to catch this trade, and that's a 1. And you should be able to catch that trade, and that's a 2. And then you have that similar kind of area. Maybe you go after it as a 3, but the more it does that, you're like, I want it, I don't want it, you decide.
Okay. Okay.
You want to see this one, how it unfolds?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Try to draw it here. All of you guys, try to draw it up here. Just don't look at your 15s. Just try to draw it up there. Like, what do you think had happened in that?
I did those 2 cells yesterday.
You did? Nice.
This stopped me out, but I got in again there.
Yeah. I saw your message where you said that before going to bed, I did a sell again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was good, right? It just took time, but it was good.
Yeah.
But the first one I think you did was a little bit late, no?
Yeah.
It was like after it came down and tested.
Yeah.
And then the second one, you got it nice higher up again.
No, not that high. It's around here.
Ah, okay. All right.
So I see it on a lower time frame.
Okay, good.
Oh, let me.
Now, as Lucas is drawing his one in, let me ask a question to you guys. If I say the line is here, which looks like it's a solid line, right? That one. We do it like that, and then there's one down here, that one, something like that. Thereabouts, right? If I say the line is over there, and the candle comes up like this, anything that catches your attention?
No, not yet.
How about the next green candle?
Definitely
Tell me about
not.
the size of the candles as well in relation to the previous and the previous, stuff like that.
Yeah, the third
Yeah.
one is actually stronger and it closed very healthy for buyers. So
Okay.
definitely want to sell from that.
Okay, so close healthy for buyers. Third one's very strong, but are you at your level in your areas?
Yeah, we're at the level.
Okay, the one thing you have to gear up for is I know it looks strong, I know it's everything looks like that, but the one thing that you all drew is you're able to see through it and saying, what is that? What is that up down action inside of that? It didn't go up full green, it went up in pieces. Now, if it responds, you missed it. You need to make it respond. If it responds without you, then what you're left with is the leftovers after that, and that one is harder. Because now you are forced to trade the home run, which means range breakout only. Range breakout only means you better have a big stop, otherwise you won't make it. Right? How many of you guys had experienced that? If you go in for the home run, it spikes one last time or two times, and then it goes and like, stopped out and I never even made the money. This happens a lot. So you have to then see that we're in the area, get ready. So let's take a look at this one time frame lower. So I have your drawings, we can keep them there. This is this spot here, right? Something like that. We had drawn all of these things. And we noticed this move, like all of you guys drew, a move down, a move up. Now look at the way it moves up on leg 2. Boom, boom, rejection. Leg 1, leg 2. What's the idea behind that?
Leg 2 is bigger than leg 1.
Okay, so
And
we don't
as-
want to hit it just because it rejected on this one. We're not sure if the SNR, whether it's there or here, if they'll respond. And they bloody did. From that buyer's area, they responded. For them, on this lower time frame, that's the accurate one to go after. And saying, the area is responding, I saw it. This is the first time I got a solid response, but it was huge. I need to get in safely. Luckily, leg 2 was bigger. The safe entry is after. Otherwise, we missed it. I don't know if that makes sense. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that does.
Yeah. If leg 2 is stronger and it responds with like, okay, now let me see what leg 2 can do. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. At least you slowed him down and you're like, gotcha. Where are you going to go now?
So,
Right?
so what you want to do with this is you have your leg 2 coming up and you see
Yes.
your bad close.
Yep.
Then you know, okay, it's big. I'm looking for something in these areas to respond. So then I'll go down a time frame and see that approach and that response from this area and how that fails on a lower time frame, and then I can get an entry.
Up there, yes, not where it closed this candle. Okay, so here's the tricky part. Here's the tricky part. Maybe there's not even a trade in this, and I'll explain why. You see when it goes up from a buyer's area, which is fine, get up there, no problem. As it's going up and we're like, okay, it's coming up for a leg 3. If it can slow down, we will sell it. But if you wait for the candle to close, where would you be selling? Back in the buyer's area again. Yeah. Right? If we do that, then the only thing going for us is, I hope there's no more buyers left, because look at their performance. That's a little bit tougher to do. But if you can say, this candle is a 15-minute candle, there's 3 minutes to candle close, and it's getting ready to turn, or there's 5 minutes to candle close, then what you can do is then you can go into a lower time frame and see, can I, with my seller area, find the sell to grab from the top as high as I can, because I know this is a leg 3 and it's dying. And this is my level that is responding. I have to catch this trade. That's the hard work that you have to put in. And it's actually logical work, not so difficult. Let me show it to you on the 5. Where are we? This way. Size, size, size.
Strong.
Strong. Each
Fast.
candle response, how is it?
Stronger.
Now, when we say strong, is it green, 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 green?
The size of the candle.
Okay, size of the candle. What else do you notice?
But I like the massive tail at the top, the wick at the top.
Okay, that's good. So the ending one has a tail on the top. What else? What about on the way up?
Volume on top. And
Volume
jaggedness.
is there at the end. What else?
It has wicks and tails, meaning it's
Wicks
strong.
and tails.
Yeah.
Which means if this is strong, why is it being divided into 3 pieces? It's divided into 3 pieces, leaves a wick on top at the area that you want as a leg 3. Hit the bloody thing close to where your sellers are sitting. Just do it. Do not be afraid. All your sells will look like you're selling them in the face of a buyer. All your sells when it comes to doing bounce trades. It looks like you're running into a bullet train, but you have to trust the process that I truly believe from everything I've looked at, they must have slowed down by now. That is your work that you have to put in. And your mission is not sell here, but sell with these guys. That's it. Sell with the red people and stay away from the green people.
Racist.
So racist.
When it comes to trading, you have to be prejudiced and racist as much as you want. Like here, it's needed. It's like,
What do you do with blue?
there's no blue. There's no blue. Not on my charts, at least.
Maybe.
Yeah. Now, one tricky part that I want to bring your attention to. Why aren't we discussing selling here after this strong rejection?
Because we're already like in ultra position.
Yes. If you're down, if you start well on a 60, but then you're down on the 5 minutes, you might see something that says go now. That's the very dangerous part. That's the part I still, till this day, get sucked in sometimes. And then I'm like, what's wrong with you? So stupid. This happens to me too. I get sucked into it. You have to be careful that when you're drawing these areas and levels, where did it go? Here. That you realize the candle close and the candle close is not showing you any signs that the sellers are starting. Okay, if there's a level, you'll see some kind of wick on top that says either we've made it or they're responding, or you need to have multiple wicks and tails up and down along the way to be like, how many legs are they going to go? 3, 4? How many times have we seen 2 legs and it goes? So when you see a 3 or a 4, you're like, dude, it's super overextended. It's a pullback. You can't do any more legs than that.
ISM is out in 5 minutes.
Hmm?
The ISM.
The what?
PMI for US.
Yeah.
It's releasing in 5 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So everything makes sense now?
Yeah, that was cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. If we know it's a range, shall I buy it?
No,
No. Why not?
the big level there suggests to sell.
Yeah. We're in the context of a downtrend. So
cells.
you'll be safer on the sell side. And respond once, respond twice. That's a 3. From this same area, right? That would be a 3. Performance 1, performance 2. It's only natural, right? Like it falls through. But then you run after this for a sell and then boing, like this guy kicks in. So that's the problem with these home run ones. Like just get it on top and we'll figure it out later.
Good. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was good. Thanks.
You know, was there anything else that you guys were looking at? I just wanted to today. I just wanted to talk over these things and any pairs you guys had. So.
No,
I
I
see
don't
you
have
got
anything else.
Cadyen on marked up on the screen. I was looking at that as well. I wondered if there was any entry. Could you have a look at that if you have time?
Yep. Yeah. From what time frame?
I was looking at it on the 1 hour.
Okay. What are we looking at on the 1 hour? Are we in an uptrend, downtrend, sideways? What are we looking at? If 60 is operation time frame, what do we understand about this?
Well, I know from like higher time frames. In daily, we're in overall upflow. Then we got to we're inside a range now from the daily, and then from that daily it's
From the daily. Okay.
yeah. I'm just sort of working down like from what I know. The daily, then it reversed, and then we're in like primary, secondary, and then this is the secondary still in progress, but the up move. So this is the end part of that up move, and then within this now we've got the range here, and then that's it's pulled down, and then hold on. That's
how many legs up to that area?
1, 2, 3.
Is it 3 or 2?
Oh, one. Okay, 2.
Right.
Yeah.
2. Let's say even if it's a 3, you know, it's very strong up, strong back down, right?
Yeah.
And in the context of this, so don't do the buys there because now you're getting very squeezed into that area. But MAs and everything are up. MAs don't count at this point. We're in a context of a range.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful.
Okay.
Okay. And did the seller respond?
Yes.
It did. So 1, we're already late to the party a little bit. Okay. And next is if you want to do a sell, you got to get him up to that seller spot again, at least close to him. If we drags here and then we do the sell, we're not selling at a seller spot. We're selling at a buyer spot. Just be very conscious about that.
Okay. I was looking at it from like a buy taking it up actually, but not for the sell. And I was wondering, is there anything?
See, so if you're looking at the 60, right? So that's why I asked you if what your trading time frame is. If this is your trading time frame, you have context of an uptrend.
Yeah.
Then you have pulls back after slowing down, pulls back, holds, starts to go through the MAs.
Yeah.
Structure change.
Right.
Right? Leaving lower highs behind you, trap, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now you have a downtrend in play. From that downtrend in play, you got this range, huge range that you're operating off of. Whether you want to sell, okay, all of these sells are okay, but this sell is a little bit tricky. And this is the one where I was mentioning in the group earlier to Yash saying, oh, sorry, I thought you were looking at New Zealand CAD. That one's risky. Why is this sell risky? Why are the other ones before okay?
Is it time spent?
Time spent, okay, that's one. What's the key piece that's like, oh, yeah, don't sell now?
Oh, there is a probe out of the range.
Yes. It brought in fuel of trap sellers. Be careful now selling.
Okay.
Someone just stepped in.
Okay.
200 is also in an uptrend here. So it's like we do see it was temporary down, but now as it was hugging the MA, hugging the MA, hugging the MA, okay. Okay, now we're sitting on the other side completely with a probe below us.
So yeah,
They're
now,
showing you signs that a buyer is trying to come in. Okay, so 60 says buyers trying to come in, but when you look at it from a daily, it's like you got a response from a seller here. Okay, as long as you're trading with who's in control at what location, and you don't forget that ever, then you'll be okay. And remember, top down dominates always. So if lower time frame says buy, but the higher time frame says this is a sell area, then don't buy. It won't work.
okay, I think that's where I was getting a bit confused because let's say starting on the what's daily and then working down, and then I'm seeing something on the lower time frame, and then trying to work back up again, and then seeing, you know, what can I do on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Kiwi dollar just dropped.
Which one? Euro dollar?
Yeah, news was good for
Kiwi dollar.
Oh, New Zealand dollar.
Yeah.
Well, looks like there it goes.
this.
There it goes. So that's the home run part. Right here, selling at the breakout of that because of poor performance. But this is one of the times that, oh yeah, now when I'm not in it, it goes nicely. Otherwise, it probes back in my face. Yeah. So overall flow, good levels. If I was to give you things to best practice, if you want to master bounces, then become a true master at approach, become a true master at understanding what levels are good, whether it's drawing out SNRs as best as you can, or drawing out trap levels as best as you can, and saying, come to that area, and then I'll see. Then as it gets to that area, start saying, how did you get there? And is anyone responding? They are responding, my turn. But don't let it respond all the way down and you're like, cool, now give me a pullback. Like, don't, you're late.
And just one time frame lower for
Um,
for which one was the one frame?
One time frame to two time frames. You're basically looking for legs and all that kind of stuff closer to your time frame that you started monitoring, that grabbed your attention. So if you're watching it from a 60 and then the 5 minute shows you legs, that's a little too far apart. So if you're watching it from a 60, you see subdivision in the candles, but you don't see the legs. You're like, it's the 15 is doing it. I can see it from here. Then you prepare. That's okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm guessing New Zealand cat tanked also. There's that home run. Sucker. This one freaked me out after that piece. And then it freaking did that piece on top as well. It's like, make a decision, man. You gotta go up or you gotta go down. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to sell on this because of that probe on the bottom, just like you guys mentioned. But New Zealand USD didn't have that probe. That's why it's like, ooh, that one, New Zealand USD is much better. Cool. So on the weekend, if any of you guys are free, what I'll do is I'll do a little practice round just by saying, all right, show me all the buyer spots. And then you just look at all the green areas and be like, this is where they start. This is the sellers. There's the buyer here again. There's the seller here. Just, you know, very quickly with your naked eye, be like, seller, 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 seller. Then it's like, I know you know it now. You won't miss it if you do that little redundant, weird, repetitive practice. Yeah. So we can do that if you guys want.
Thanks.
Cool. Well, I don't have anything else. Well, sorry, yeah, we looked at CAD yen, right? That one was done. Yeah. Was there any other pairs you guys wanted to talk about or look at?
Can we look at the pound New Zealand? Just got stop
New
out.
Zealand.
Actually, I
Yeah.
got a stop out on the spread, but yeah,
This one,
if even I hold it, I would be a stop out.
yeah, this one is the one where I got stopped out here, right? When it came back. Yesterday I
mine
was in it with
here. Mine was here.
yeah. Yeah. Now the thing is, where's the seller's area?
Yeah, that's the
So if I'm gonna do the
last one.
home run, then if I want a safe stop, it's sort of gotta be above there, right? Because we're trying to do a pullback run from here. So
Yeah,
if that's my level, we gotta be outside the level for the safe area.
that's what.
Because this is
Yeah.
Sorry.
Even you see, I put it in your. This is the sell. It already was in your chart because I put it.
This one?
Yeah, you see the stop is here, so I
Right,
should
right.
have gone for the 4-hour stop because I had. It was a swing trade plus I had a spread problem, so I have to go wider.
Yeah. Now, very quickly, if all of you guys as a practice, if you look at this and you guys, I don't give you access to the daily, weekly, or anything like that. If you just look at this, tell me in terms of structure, where are you? You have the MAs to your disposal, but where are you? Uptrend, downtrend, range? What are you in? Or channel?
We are in an uptrend, but it's a short-term trend channel which the buyer is holding, the last buyer from the daily.
Okay, so we
which
see.
is, I assume, is this guy.
Okay, this is the lowest highest that we're seeing in like the maximum extremes, right?
Yeah.
We see MA, overall downward flow. So we know that somewhere above, we don't know who, is in a downtrend, right? So we see overall downtrend. We see a pullback that came in hot, looked like whatever that refresh was. And then this is the top. The top began from there. Lower highs, a oneer, a twoer, all that stuff, lower highs began their journey from there. But since that lower high, wherever this buyer pushed, buyer pushed, buyer pushed, buyer pushed, it's like, we're in a range condition. Range condition, which is processing that we used to call, right? Secondary processing.
Yeah.
We're in a range condition. And where we're activating the cells is more in a buyer spot. So it becomes harder to get away with it. If we did it off of this level or this level, it's a bit easier. So I did the breakout also, right, with you, but then I kept my stop small. I'm like, if it goes, I'm in. It should go like New Zealand USD right now. But if it comes back up, then there's no point of me being in the trade. I'll just take the loss.
Yeah, but in the New Zealand USD, we saw the structure in the 5 minutes, so it's easier to break out on the 5 rather than 4. So I should have given it more time.
You mean for this structure?
Yeah, yes. I mean, we can see it in the 5-minute same structure. I mean, this range.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That one, we can see it in the 4-hour, which I should have let it more time to.
Yeah. The whole thing goes with home runs is not only do you need to make sure all the buyers are dead, you also need to line it up with the launch event. That's the tricky part. And if the launch event does this first, reaches seller area, and then does this, then the trade actually worked, but then it worked without us. That's the headache. So if we're going to do breakout home runs, then we have to understand that trade started from here. The safest spot is above the risk line. Okay, that's the risk line of where the sell started. That's the safest spot. Yeah, and around this should be some kind of a range that made this level for you. That would be ideal, the stop loss there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so Yash, you're going to be watching this. You're probably watching this right now. Who was in this trade? Yash was in it. Lucas, you were in it. Henning, you were in it. Okay. I want you guys to really remember this is as the trade started, you guys are very fast to move your stops in, break even, move it tighter, all that stuff, right? Which is correct, which is good. I just want you to realize if that's the case, this is never possible. Because these kind of things will come at you and they will always get you before a move happens. So you have to understand what you're playing. If you're playing for the next level, the way you guys handle it is the way to always do it. Because you're like, I want to make the money or I don't want to lose. That's it. I won't accept anything else. No loss. That's correct. That's a good thing to do. But if you want that kind of a movement, then you cannot move your stops in that quickly. And they need to be in the right spot.
Yeah, I'm kind of like I always aim for the next level. I don't really aim for breakthroughs.
I saw, and that's not a bad thing. And if you can refine that, and that's who you become, then that's good. I think for the rest of the guys, I think because of the way I've taught it, I think everyone's trying to merge a bounce and a home run together, and it's becoming messy. It's like I'm doing a bounce, but I'm going to hold it for the home run at the same time. Then it's like, okay, then make sure the money management and the stop losses are held accordingly. But maybe we separate them, master each separately, and then we can clash them together and saying, now I can do both all at one shot. Because if you catch the home run, then the next pullback, you know how to trade that bounce. That's your ad. That's where you add size. Right? But don't start a new trade late. You can add a little size late. That's okay. Okay, all of this, I'm telling you, not because, oh man, you guys are doing this. I'm telling you because I've suffered a lot through that, and I've suffered still sometimes because of that stuff. I lose track of, oh shit, I sold that support. So I'm telling you from my own experience of, hey, when I do my PAs, I really think I'm stupid sometimes. Like, what the hell are you doing? You know, so I want you guys to learn from, you know, even my mistakes and just pass through the hurdles of any errors, you know, just go straight to being the best. So hope all these little things, tweaks help. Should.
Yeah,
It better.
They do.
Otherwise, all these times and days and nights that I'm spending with you guys is a waste.
No, it's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. There's no doubt you guys are going to do fantastic. So end of this month, I want to give you guys your accounts back. Okay, that's the goal. Middle of this month, we'll do evaluations. Okay. If you haven't done any trades yet, or you feel your performance is up and down, no problem. Start fresh, open a new demo account starting today and saying, for the month of September, this is my performance during the evaluation and on the 15th. And then on the 30th, you got your keys to your account. Yeah. And as an added bonus, I'll wipe away all your previous losses. There's no losses. You start from your 10 grand or 20 grand, whatever account you were at, all previous losses are wiped. Yeah. Sounds fair? I've given you guys zero risk and every opportunity to fly. I don't want to hear any excuses going forward. It's like... Yeah. Cool. You guys will do well. All right, guys.
Thank
Let
you.
you guys get some rest. Speak later.
Thank you.
See you guys. Take care.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks, Naveen. Bye bye.
You.
Thank you.
Bye.